Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Am I Successful Yet? Where we challenge the definition of success and have a real chat about the career pivots and pivots in our lives that happen, which means that our definition of success changes over time, depending on where in the human experience we are. Today, the human experience I'm going to talk about is the initiation into law land, and this can be transferred over to the initiation into any career really, where you are again the bottom of the barrel, you've got all the qualifications, and now you are going out into the real world and attempting to find work, stand out from the crowd, and do all the things. Now I am talking about this today because I am one of the speakers today at the Queensland Law Society Careers Fair, and this career fair is directed essentially at students that are due to graduate in the nearish future, probably in the next 1 to 2 years, and they are essentially going out into the what legal influencer Mel Story calls the grad Hunger Games, or the clerkship Hunger Games. And I just want to raise 2 points in lead up to this, and I'm going to share this today as well when I speak, and hopefully there's more listeners after today, because I think that this is a really important sort of thing. There's a few lessons that I just want to mention. The first one is that today you are going to be networking your little butts off, and that's cool. So a little bit of networking and having conversations is totally normal when you are building a professional services career. What is not normal is schmoozing and just kissing ass for no particular reason. The reality is, though, that most people are fucking terrified to walk into a networking event, to have a conversation, to walk up to someone that's probably more senior than them and to have that conversation and just sort of say, hey, I am me, this is me, and I'd love to work with you because I think you're pretty cool. That is, for me, the sign of respect, which is amazing, right? I'm talking to people more senior than you. I know that certainly I have felt this in my career as well, is that when you're attempting to talk to a partner or a manager or a CEO or whatever it is, sometimes it just feels a little bit scary because they're, I guess, in a position of power, and it feels like they could potentially, have some bearing on what your future potentially looks like. And I'm not here to tell you that they don't, but I am here to tell you that they are just humans, and they are also living the human experience at whatever point in their life they are at. And whether or not they are, it really depends on, where they're at and how they're going as to, how they might respond to you. So when you are having conversations, I think the first thing is to kind of be kind, but also don't downplay your ability, your experiences, what you can offer just because you're a little bit scared in the conversation. And I say they're only human with the greatest love and the greatest respect to the people that are going to be there today, because I imagine they're all going to be, either senior people or lawyers that are already, quite successful in their careers. With the greatest love and respect, they are just human, and they are there because they want to support you. They are there because they want to have a conversation with you. They are there because they want to see you succeed. So have that conversation. And look, I think this goes for every networking event really, is that if you're going into a networking event, the people that are there to have conversations. And particularly for a networking event, everyone is probably just as fucking scared as you are. A lot of people don't like doing it because public speaking is one of the things that is more feared than death, which is insane. So I challenge you today, and if you're listening to this in the future or you're just going to a networking event, you're not going to be at the QLS Careers Fair today, I challenge you to just walk up to someone next time you're at an event that either you wouldn't usually walk up to and have a conversation with, or that you think maybe might be able to add something to your career, might be able to teach you a lesson, might be able to drop some knowledge on you, might be able to support you in some way. Better still, someone that you might be able to support because of your experiences and the things that you know. And so have that conversation, walk up to them. They are only human. The next part is that I want to flag that I think I'm sitting in the alt careers lounge today before my panel. And I think that the other thing to consider is that, and we are getting better at this in the legal industry now, is that you can't be what you can't see. And the cool thing is you can start to see the people now that are in alt careers and that are looking at different ways of practicing law or different ways of working in the professional services market that are going to, spark new ideas and new pathways in amazing humans coming into the legal industry or other industries that have really amazing skills. So I think have a open mind when you go to these types of events. And similarly, if you're going to networking events or any other events where, you're kind of there for a professional development purpose, I would challenge you to go with an open mind and just believe that I guess anything can really happen, because you never know the people that you meet. You never know the opportunities that will accidentally kind of fall into your lap or come as a result of one conversation that you have. There is literally people in the room that, you are freaked out about going into that could literally change the trajectory of your career. And I don't say that lightly. I know that that sounds really, a bit much. And I know that that sounds like a bit woo-woo, but that is actually the reality of the conversations that you're having. So be thoughtful in these interactions. Go in there with a purpose, right? If you're going there to get merch, then great. Know that. Get the best merch there possibly is. If you're going there to find out about law firms, amazing. Go and learn about the law firms. But to learn about them, you have to ask questions. You actually have to talk to people. You can't just walk up and look at a brochure and know everything there is to know about people. If you are there to, particularly you've been dreaming about working at this one place, go up there and ask them what it's like to be there. See what it's like to live in their shoes and work in that environment. That is 100% something that you could be doing. And you're going to stand out, because even if you are listening to this before you have gone, which you're probably not, but if you're listening to this before you go to an event, even if you are listening to this before you go to the careers fair or any networking event, and I say just go up and talk to people, it's all right for people like me because I can talk to anyone. And I think I've said this before in some of my other content, that I think it's something in my DNA, because random people tell me their whole life stories when I'm walking down the street or in a lift or anywhere really. And so it is very easy for me to talk to people, and I appreciate it is not that easy for a lot of other people. But I challenge you, as I said, first tip is that they are only human. The second tip is just go and talk to them. Otherwise, you're never going to know because you're never going to ask. But if you do ask, then you stand out from the crowd, because all the people that are listening to this, there's only going to be a small percentage of you that actually take this advice and go and actually talk to the people that matter. So that is something that was the thing to consider. They are really the main things. Go in with an open mind, just talk to people, actually ask meaningful questions, go there with purpose. If you go there saying the only thing I ever want to do when I grow up is get a clerkship at a top tier law firm, then that's good for you, right? That's good. That's not the career path for everybody, and that's all right. And so if you go there just with an open mind thinking, okay, I'm not really sure what I want to do, that is also okay. And look, if it all works out and you end up not even pursuing a career in law, but you end up with some cool merch, that's also fucking cool. So that's the podcast for today. And that was literally just directed at the kids that are probably terrified of going to this event today and talking to law firms that could potentially employ them one day and be the reason why they can pay a mortgage or buy groceries. And also to network with people that could potentially be the people that support them, in the next trajectory of their career. So I challenge you to go and have a conversation today. And whether or not you're going to a careers fair or a networking event, or you're just trying to hit a business meeting where you want something from the other person, I challenge you to think of something that you can offer them as a different way of doing things, rather than just being the next person that comes and asks exactly the same questions. So try and do things a little bit differently. Try and make yourself stand out a little bit more, because when you ask that weird question or that one question that other people are too afraid to ask, then people are going to remember you. And you want to be memorable in, the Hunger Games, when you are trying to find a job in industry that maybe doesn't have enough jobs, because the alt jobs or other non-top tier law firm jobs don't really exist in the plane of a regular career pathway, if you will. So that is the podcast, and thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me, and good luck to everyone that is going into a career, professional services, legal industry, whatever it may be. I am still figuring out whether I am successful yet. And so that's why I've started this podcast. And I can guarantee you all of the guests that I'm going to have on here are also considering if they are successful yet. So my final challenge to you is to figure out what your definition of success is and start moving towards that. So again, thank you for being here. And I will see you on the podcast on next episode.